afternoon, church. My name is Anthony Pensa. I'm the assistant youth leader here at PIWC. So, the youth, we had the privilege of meeting with Deacon Abban, or Mr. Abban. We had a personal interview with him, and we just wanted to get his thoughts on the various things of who he is. By the way, do we actually know who Mr. Abban is? Mr. Abban, as you know, is the caretaker of the church. He's actually a deacon here at the Church of Pentecost, Maryland District. So we, the PIWC Youth and Pensa Ministry, reached out to him and get his thoughts and perspective on what it means to serve in the house of God.
To be praised, His mercy's over.
Well, according to the Bible, in Matthew chapter 25, verse 40, it says, "And the king will answer them, 'Truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these members, who are members of my family, you did it to me.'"
So we had a chance to speak with Mr. Abban, and he said that God has given us all a talent. Some of us have to preach, some of us are healers, and that everybody has their own role to do in the church. So he believes that his role is to serve others through taking care of the church.
Greatest, our Lord God, and greatly to be praised.
In the midst of our interview with Mr. Abban, we asked him a few questions, and one of them was, why do you serve, and have you always been this way even when you were a youth? And after talking to him, I was able to learn a whole lot of things. For the first question, why do you serve? He used the analogy of a tree and its branches, and he made reference to the pastor as one branch. And as pastor, of course, he serves in a different way, a different capacity in the church. Shout out to you, pastor. But then there's another branch, and that's where Mr. Abban comes in. He's a caretaker of the church, making sure the lights are working, making sure that the doors are open for us to come in and do whatever we have to do in the house of the Lord. So then I asked him, have you always been this way, even when you were a youth? And surprisingly, he was like, no. Well, he told us how at one point in his life, he used to be in the world. However, when he met the Lord, when he heard the message of salvation, that changed him completely. He ended up serving. He said that if the Lord could die for me, could serve me, how much more myself serve the Lord? So that is the message that we got from Mr. Abban during our interview, and we took so much from that. Now the youth has a few words for Mr. Abban.
All His works shall praise Him. Wonderful are His words.
What's one word to describe Mr. Abban?
If I would use one word to describe Mr. Abban, I would say he's a diligent worker.
What's his word?
What? I know, right? So, guys, what do you guys think about Deacon Abban? Talk about it.
Who is Mr. Abban?
I think he's an asset to the church. Like he's always there when you need him.
Mr. Abban, he's never hesitant to come and assist us whenever we need help, whether it be unlocking a door or coming to help us with changing the AC.
I would describe Mr. Abban as kind-hearted, because he makes sure everybody's good, and like both Central and PIWC, you can say
Proactive in our church
community.
I think Mr. Abban is dedicated.
Deacon Abban, he's always positive, always smiling. Whenever you see him, I don't think I've ever seen a frown in his face.
I think that Mr. Abban is really patient.
What do you guys think about Deacon Abban? Talk about it.
Deacon Abban is always helpful, and he's always around to assist us.
I think that Mr. Abban is very reliable.
He's very confident in what he does. He never steps back when something needs to be done.
We greatly appreciate you, Mr. Abban, for all your hard work and dedication.
God bless you, Mr. Abban.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abban.
We greatly appreciate you, Mr. Abban.
God bless you, Mr. Abban.
Thank you, Mr. Abban.
Okay.
Wonderful.